coinciding crises that we're trying to turn into opportunities. The crises in education with all the technology and the new ways of looking at teaching and learning, the crisis in journalism, and the crisis in public broadcasting. So with education, I really see journalism as a great model for learning. I learned so much more when I became a reporter than anything I learned in college. And these guys know when you're working on a story and you're about to tell that story, you're about to either write it or produce it in video, you need to know your topic cold. And you understand what you don't know, which is a really important process of learning what you don't know and then figuring out how you're going to find out the answers to your questions. And then also, when you go and interview an expert, if you're going to sit down with an adult in your community and ask them questions, you need to know your topic. And that's a very kind of real form of information acquisition and learning. We also, out of this project, there's an authentic purpose. The students know why they're doing this, and they know that there's going to be an audience for it because it's going to be on the PBS NewsHour Student Reporting Labs platform. We've also had pieces run on the PBS NewsHour broadcast, which is on PBS every evening. At the end of the program, they'll say, we have this great piece from the Student Reporting Lab, and they'll show it on air. So it also gives students a real reason to participate and to produce the highest quality stories that they can. And then in terms of education, the process of the newsroom process is all about teamwork and collaboration and all of those kinds of skills that they will bring into the workplace. No matter if they go into journalism or business or arts or anything, you're going to bring those skills into your future. So the crisis in journalism, the economic model has been just totally disrupted by the internet, but I'm more interested in the content and where stories are coming from. They're coming from new places. Newsrooms are looking for, citizen voices and new ways of finding stories and of telling them. And I've always been interested at the PBS NewsHour of bringing content to kids. And we've had focus groups with teachers and with students when we built the project, well, the site that this comes out of, NewsHour Extra, where students told us, it's adult news, it's boring, it doesn't speak to me. I would like to hear that story told from a youth perspective. So, this is using the technology and this program helps create those pieces of content from a journalism perspective that can speak to young people and get them interested in current events and what's going on in their world. And then public broadcasting, if you heard LeVar Burton last night, the keynote, he talked honestly about public broadcasting, trying to figure out, a way to build relevancy in the community. And to connect with young people between Sesame Street and, Frontline or Nova or the NewsHour. There's that gap in between that we feel is something that can be filled and should be filled, and so we're trying to do with the Student Reporting Labs. And also to draw young people into public broadcasting community. It's a community of people who care, from the producers to the audience, people who care about what's going on in the world. So quickly about the how, then I want to get right to the videos and to the students and the video. So the Corporation for Public Broadcasting funded the pilot around 2.5 years ago. We've been in 25 schools and after-school programs. The idea is to bring a mentor from the public television station into the classroom. These are adults, these are professional journalists who work with the students throughout the course of the semester. And we've identified key moments where their presence and their input and their communication with the students is the most important, and I can talk about that a little bit later. The NewsHour also provides Creative Commons B-roll, so video from the NewsHour's archive, and we have an ongoing relationship with the Student Reporting Labs where the students can say, I'm looking for this video, and we will help them find it. And then we've also built a curriculum out of the pilot where we identified gaps in, going out and telling students to create a really high quality, awesome story. There were many gaps along the way that we had to fill in with our curriculum, and I'll talk more about that later too. So right now the curriculum's up on the site. It's all free. It can be used in any kind of classroom by any teacher. And then in terms of becoming an official student reporting lab, that's where we find a mentor and we work together, and that's another process that I'll talk about after we see the videos and hear from the students and